I'm calling from the Trib. I'd like to confirm a quote.
Getting the runaround in 2 hours.
You come back quickly. How much money was involved? Was it over $1,000? Was it over $10,000?
Storming like crazy only 2 days ago. Oh, geez, the weather's beautiful.
Changeable this time of the year. This is rainwater you're all cooking in.
Could you get hit by lightning sitting in a hot tub?
Who cares?
You all soft-boiled yet? I'm gonna hate to break this up, but I've got to get to the airport at 7 to get to Hawaii.
So this trip is really to find your roots?
You bet.
I don't know anybody that was born in Waikiki.
Why would I make that up?
Because it sounds a lot better than a winter vacation in Buffalo.
Smart move buying this place.
Well, sooner or later a man starts thinking of having a family.
Great. Where are you going to put the kids, on a vibrating loft bed?
What's that? Car backfiring?
Sounds more like gunfire.
Maybe they're hunters.
What are they hunting for, lizards? This isn't exactly big game country. Who else lives around here?
Oh, it's a great thing about this part of Topanga. There may be 1 or 2 other houses set back from the road, but nobody comes up here to socialize. Everybody comes up here to relax, so everything is very laid back here.
Charlie's coming out as troops. Fire when ready. Fire at will. Hold the fire.
I think we got him. I got him, Dad. I got him.
Pretty good.
Missed his stomach, though. Probably when they killed him.
That's okay. You've got the idea. You shoot him 5 times, shoot him dead.
Right.
You gonna be okay?
Boy, if this is mellow, I can understand why it gets so much publicity.
Well, just be careful, because the roads are a little tricky around here. Remember, don't go left on Sycamore. Go right on Oak.
Oak. Okay. Donovan, have a great trip. And don't worry about anything.
Thank you. I won't. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
What are you doing here? Why'd you stop?
What are you doing here? Is that thing loaded?
I'm securing a perimeter and always assume a gun is loaded.
Sounds reasonable.
Suspect subdued, sir.
Wait a minute.
You're on private property, mister. You aware of that fact?
I am now.
Did you see that sign? Trespassers will be shot.
I'm not a trespasser. I'm lost. No kidding.
Turn your tail around, follow the road back to the fork, take a right at Oak.
Hey, no problem.
Go with it.
Here.
Something kind of fascinating on the weather wire.
You walked all the way over here to tell me that the sun's coming out at 12 o'clock instead of 11?
Do you know what a Pacific high is?
3 kids on a surfboard smoking a joint.
It's a high-pressure system, lies about 300 miles off San Diego. Now, as long as it's in place, storms coming in from Alaska and Hawaii are deflected north.
You really understand that stuff, Bill?
When you're piloting a hot air balloon over Crete, you better understand the weather. Also, if you've flown bomber missions in the South Pacific, like I did.
I thought you were with the OSS during the war.
Yeah, I did that too. Now, we've had flash flood alerts, but it hasn't gone to warning yet.
So what are you telling me? Is that storm big enough to go in the budget?
Well, I don't very much like the look of this low-pressure system off Hawaii.
Poor Donovan. Don't tell me they're getting bad weather in Hawaii.
Oh, no. Hey, Hawaii's pretty darn nice. You see, the storms keep passing by the islands. Anyway, if I were you, I'd batten down the hatches weather-wise.
You're serious about this?
I once had to deliver a baby during a tropical storm on Guadalcanal. Sure wish someone had warned me it was coming.
The baby or the storm? Good old Wild Bill. I'm glad he was on our side.
Yeah. I guess you better go over to the county reservoir in Topanga. See what they're doing about the overflow situation. If we get these new storms, they're really in trouble.
I was up near there yesterday at Donovan's before he left. You know, I either dreamed this or I saw something very strange in the woods. Some kind of military maneuvers involving children.
I've seen some interesting things after coming out of Donovan's hot tub, too.
L.A. ran into trouble during the building boom after World War II.
That's when there was no control over the flood drainage.
I wouldn't say there was none, but we didn't build flood systems that kept up with the new housing. The city grew up too fast.
Whose fault was that? Poor planning by the city?
Nothing malicious about it. I think it was done mostly out of ignorance.
Ignorance?
About the water. Where it wants to go, where the mud wants to go. Pretty soon, we were building houses on unsafe ground. Lots of paving and rooftops. Instead of allowing the water to meander through the grass and soak up naturally, it goes to a low spot.
So that's why we have street flooding every year.
Right. So, Los Angeles was left with a very expensive problem. Drainage. But by 1970, we found the solution to that problem with 3 bond issues, raised over $1 billion.
It still seems to me that if anyone had been thinking of the public welfare, boom or no boom, we could have had a system all along that worked.
You're living out west, my friend, and the West was built on one great motto: every man for himself. This town grew up on greed.
You know, I saw a family living in the woods out here. Little boy carries a gun. Father thinks he's General Patton. You ever hear of him?
Oh, we got plenty of weirdos up here. Artists and actors, mostly.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
I've got the flood stuff, but I don't know.
Doesn't look like it's gonna rain. Come back in. We've got something cooking at the school board. Looks like another fish fight.
Just a second, Lou. Hey! Hello! Stop!
I got a better idea. Just go straight down there. And when you...
I'll talk to you later, Lou.
Rossi. Rossi.
3, 4, or 5 years from today, I think that we all share a sense that times are changing. Good things about America are about to be lost. Why are so many people afraid? Why do they say, Morton, how can I protect my investments? I'm afraid of this recession. And I believe it's going to turn into a full-scale depression. I don't believe that the government can stop it. And the dollar is on a downward spiral. My savings aren't worth anything. I'm afraid of the future. The sad truth is that the rest of the world is no better off, and we don't have any control over it. The fall of, say, the Finnish mark could create a domino effect in the currency market that could devastate us. What can we do? First of all, get rid of all your paper. Paper money, paper stocks and bonds, paper notes. Because when the time comes that controls fail, banks close, and the dollar is worth 1/10 of its face value. A wheelbarrow full of paper money might buy you a loaf of bread. Today I'm going to show you how to buy gold, diamonds, silver coins, farmland, and dried foods. Because I'm afraid too. I'm afraid that the only investment that'll be worth anything is what we can barter. Sound primitive? Well, it's gonna be. And you'd better be ready for it if you want to survive.
Oh, Lou, the Weather Service won't commit itself to this new storm, but any damn fool can see that it's coming.
You still need a quote.
I could quote myself.
What about that independent meteorologist? What's her name? The one who took over since her husband died.
Oh, yeah, Henrietta Gordon. Very sharp gal. You know, I think she's got a crush on me.
Or Greta Garbo.
These people call themselves survivalists. Basically, they believe the world's going to end.
Oh, yeah? How?
They each have their own scenario. Could be runaway inflation, nuclear war, earthquakes, economic collapse, communist takeover, or a general rolling breakdown.
Fake turkey breast is the first sign.
They're into planning. There's an obsession with some of them.
There's nothing wrong with planning for an emergency.
You can't plan for the unexpected.
Well, I'm all in favor of keeping fresh batteries in my flashlight. Haven't you ever wondered what to do in an earthquake or some other disaster?
Just use common sense if you have any.
The survivalist idea is more sophisticated. Some have elaborate plans to get out of the city and go to their rural hideaways.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. They stockpile food and ammo and make plans to protect themselves from the ravaging hordes.
How do you know so much about them?
I'm one of them.
Kevin would say to check the statistics.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm calling you, dear heart.
Hold on, Wild Bill. Let's see if we can prove you right. How are they treating you at the trip?
I'm not extreme about it, but we do spend 25% of our food budget to build stocks of storable food. We keep ours in my son's closet.
Away from the tennis shoes, I hope.
Are a lot of people doing this kind of thing?
Sure seems like it.
Look at it this way. In '73, we had a 4% shortage of gasoline, and people were getting into fistfights at the pumps. What would it be like if it was a 40% shortage?
Well, you forget there were shortages during World War II. We had rationing and everybody cooperated. Meatless Tuesdays. Nobody got shot at the market.
Lou?
Yeah, Bill?
Just got a confirmed report from Henrietta Gordon. That series of storms is on its way.
Okay, let's go with it.
More rain?
Lots of it.
Then I was right.
About what?
I almost got my car washed today.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Boy, it is crazy out there. I must have seen a dozen accidents on the way in. LA people just don't know how to drive in the rain. I
kind of like the rain. Makes you think you're living in a place that has weather.
Ever been in a flash flood?
No, have you?
Well, when I was a boy.
Don't encourage him.
You see, when I was growing up on a ranch, my uncle and I, he was half Cherokee, we had to pull about 100 head of cattle out of the mud on horseback.
I thought you said you grew up in Germany.
Oh, yeah, well, those are my early years.
For God's sake, Bill, how many childhoods did you have?
You know, Burroughs, I've been thinking about what you said about that survivalist stuff you're into.
to learn more about it to protect yourself?
Want to know more about it to do a story? I think you guys are bananas.
Keep thinking it. If you found yourself in a real survival situation with a pack of wet matches and a flashlight that won't work, you'd change your tone.
I did that once.
Did what?
Went into the wilderness by myself when I was a kid in Maine. All I had was a knife and a blanket.
Gee, Wild Bill, you've seen everything but the tiger's body on top of Kilimanjaro.
It's a leopard.
What about it, Lou? As a story, the survivalists.
Rossi, they're just a bunch of isolated nuts.
Isolated? Isolated? Morton Leonard's What If newsletter has a circulation of over 100,000. I found out that these mail-order dried food businesses did over $1 million last year. I'm telling you, fear of the future is big business.
Lou, did you see this? Mudslides in Malibu. I guess it's the official start of the rain season.
Who we got in Malibu?
Rosenthal's in Calabasas.
Did we get him?
I'll try.
Donovan, I didn't recognize you without a vest.
Who we got working Caltrans?
Lou.
I think Ken Robbins is on
I'll
it.
give him a call.
Excuse me, Lou. What about the survivalists?
Rossi, we got a big story here.
Bigger than the imminent collapse of Western civilization as we know it?
When it collapses, Rossi, it's your story.
Can I help you there, buddy?
Ralph Cooper?
Yeah, I know you. The lecture the other day, Morton Leonard, right?
I was there.
And up in Topanga, snooping around where you shouldn't be. What's your game? Who you with?
Los Angeles Tribune.
The Tribune?
My name's Joe Rossi. I'm a reporter. Who'd you think I was?
You could be anybody. One of the competitors. Some loon. Maybe a spy.
That's imaginative.
I am 100% serious. I've got some valuable stuff here. You don't think our enemies want to know what they're up against?
I know you're in the dried food business, but, what are all these books?
What about them?
Killing Made Easy, Part 1. The World Atlas of Knife Fighting. Build Your Own Mortars. Professional Assassination Techniques.
It's a free country, isn't it? People have a right to read what they want.
But these booklets are very specific. They're instruction manuals on how to kill people.
I was a U.S. Army staff officer, okay? Green Beret, highly decorated, Purple Heart, the whole bit, okay? I've seen chaos in Cambodia and Laos. There's no reason it can't happen here. People have a right to protect themselves.
You want to tell me how that's going to happen?
Could be lots of ways. I think the most likely is race riots. Starting in cities and spread. Violence. Looting. You can put those books down. But I tell you what's coming. And you better do some hard thinking about what you would and would not do in a life and death situation. You carry a gun?
What for?
If I were you, your line of work, I'd carry a mini Derringer NAA-22LR. It's not optimal as a primary defensive weapon, of course.
I understand.
But it's very effective on contact, up against the ribs or the throat. And that's all the range you need. 95% of all the shooting in the United States takes place within 25 feet. Or is that 25 yards?
I'm for 25 yards. Are those your dried food products?
Yeah. We ship in unmarked cartons in unmarked trucks. People don't want their neighbors to know what they've got. One of these will feed a family of 5 for 3 months.
Aren't you almost creating the atmosphere for panic and violence by practicing for it like this?
See, people in this country used to believe in a better tomorrow. I don't think they believe in that anymore.
But you're sending out books on how to kill.
That's right, and I do it out of love.
Love?
For people who think like I do. Those who are prepared to survive, deserve to survive.
Updated weather. Boil it down for your lead.
You have an endearing sense of humor.
You got a map of last year's brush fires? The areas that were struck by fire last year are prime for mudslides now.
Hey, here's that chart of the Sea of Cortez. Ever do any spearfishing off Baja?
The brush fires?
Got it.
Lou, this weather thing has me worried. Are you sending crews out?
Working on it. We're hitting San Bernardino, Mount Baldy, Cahunga, and Trabuco Canyon.
And south-facing beaches.
Is this where the wind coming in?
Oh, the wind and surf will melt those beaches like cotton candy.
Hey,
Yeah, kind of a tasty image.
Don't fall in love with it.
All right.
Your mother dress you this morning?
What is it, Lou? The San Diego Freeway or the El Cap Reservoir?
You sure you want to go out there without wrist?
The pros play hurt, Lou.
Okay. Marina del Rey. We've got a report that a lot of boats singing at their berths.
I'll need a boat to get there.
Is this a real camera? It's like a toy.
It's for underwater.
Yeah? Really? Like you can take pictures of fish and stuff?
We may get a chance.
Mark, this is the map book. We'll call in the coordinates and you come out and meet us, okay?
Okay, where will it be? We won't know till we get there. But when we do, it won't be anyplace dry, and we have to wait in the car for you to show up. Probably some abandoned gas station somewhere.
All right, that sounds neat.
It won't be neat.
Now, don't keep us waiting, okay? Stay by the phone, we'll call.
Don't get too wet.
School's in the East Valley. 2 grades are stranded. Can't get out because of the water.
Okay, tell Sweeney to stay on it.
Also in San Bernardino, a grave got washed out and the corpses ended up in people's backyards.
1 inch of rain per hour on the nose.
Nuts.
What did I say?
1.1.
Do you guys know there's a flood out there? I mean it, a real one. All canyon roads to the valley are closed except for Benedict and Sepulveda.
I'll check with CHP.
Hey, there's a man in Brentwood was electrocuted when he stepped into a puddle of water that was charged by downed electric lines. Lightning storms, cars floating down Laurel Canyon.
Floating?
The good news is the storm will be over in about an hour.
Oh, okay.
The bad news is there's another one right behind it on the way. City room. Oh, yeah, he's right here. Hold on, Luke.
Hello.
Well, hello, City Desk. Geez, I heard about the terrible weather you're having there. I thought I'd call and send a little Hawaiian sunshine your way.
We appreciate it.
The mud must be moving up in Topanga. I was getting a little concerned about the hill behind my house.
Anything I can do?
Well, now that you mention it, there's some big rolls of plastic on the porch. Might throw up on the hill to keep the mud from coming down into the house.
I had to ask.
No, I didn't mean that you should do it, but maybe you could get somebody.
Like who? Never mind, I'll do it.
I appreciate it, Lou. The key's under the flower pot.
Okay. Donovan, you don't have to call again. Yeah. Aloha.
Lou, I just remembered. You might have trouble starting your car.
What makes you say that?
Well, when I came back just now, I started to pull into the garage, but I saw how fast the water was rising, so I didn't park there.
What about the rest of us? Did it occur to you to come up here and tell the rest of us?
I guess not.
Maybe it's lucky that your car's okay. You're gonna need it. Smell something?
Gas.
I shut it off.
How?
There.
Now, how do we get it back on?
We won't. There's a leak in the line. Better wet than dead. Lovely.
Lou, let's come back tomorrow.
Bossy, we're here now. Let's put the plastic on the hill and then go. Go get the car. We can use the headlights.
Right.
Maybe we can scrunch up some flashlights in the house. We can try calling a tow truck. believe this? He just bought the place.
I'll get some.
Probably be hours before we get a tow.
This will do a lot of good.
What's the matter? Phone's dead. Lines must be down.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, why aren't you home in front of a cozy fire like I wish I were?
My wood's all neatly stacked outside in 3 feet of water. I heard on the radio the National Guardsman called out to Palm Springs.
Yeah, I gotta sandbag those tennis courts.
There's already been some looting there and some spectacular rescues. Sheriff's deputies wearing snorkeling equipment. This is no ordinary storm.
You want me to call in additional help?
Every available reporter, call the stringers in, too.
Found something to keep you warm.
Must be a psychiatrist.
Donovan goes to a psychiatrist?
No, he goes out with one.
Oh, I'm starving.
Think there's any danger from that hill behind us?
You mean a mudslide? I don't know. We'll check the stream out back as soon as it's light. If the water's running clear, we should be okay. If it's muddy...
Mud can move pretty fast, you know.
I know.
Can wipe out a whole house in about 20 seconds. Without warning.
What do we got here? Let's see. Gherkins. Olives. Ah, anchovies.
Oh.
Condensed cream of mushroom soup. Terrific. I think we're gonna make it.
I don't drink much, you know. But what the hell? I'm not driving.
This is frustrating. A big story like this breaking, and where are we?
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Where's Mark? We got a full bag of film and an exclusive.
I'll try to track him down. What do you have?
4 kids tried rafting in a flood control channel and were drowned. We were there when they pulled out 2 with a body.
Okay, what else do you have? Hey, where's Billy?
Talking to the rescue team. Also, the roof collapsed on one of those $500,000 condos on the beach. Boy, the way they build those houses today.
Hey, hold a second. Mark is here. Listen, let me have your coordinates.
E7D4.
I'm going to send Mark back out. You have Billy come in with him, and you head out to the field headquarters of the flood control district. Got it? Mark, what happened?
I was supposed to meet him at a laundromat, but when I got there, it was a gas station, and nobody was waiting. See, I was supposed to meet him at coordinates E7D4 on Washington Boulevard.
Mark, you have to check the page. See, D7E4, Washington Boulevard in the Marina, not Culver City.
Oh. Guess it's a long street, huh?
You think you can find him now?
Yeah.
Then do it.
Yes, sir.
Look, Lou. I know I'm a good reporter because I'm very objective about my own work. But, well, you don't throw compliments around and, well, what do you really think of me as a writer? Oh, it's a dumb question. You don't have to answer that.
Good.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you're good. You're a good writer.
Hey, that's great. Thanks. That's good to hear. You want me to tell you what I think of you as an editor?
Not particularly.
Some young fellow from the National Weather Service told me we're going to have a hurricane.
A hurricane? What'd you tell him?
I asked him what his name was so I could quote him. We've never had a hurricane in Southern California. They always blow themselves out into tropical storms before they get here.
Of course they do.
So, what are you looking at tonight?
Well, you've got a system of storms stacked up to the international date line, like planes at an airport. When one blows itself out, another blows itself in.
How long do you figure it'll last?
Could go on a week.
Henrietta, I was wondering, you know, we talk on the telephone all the time and so forth. Do you think we could meet someday for coffee?
Well, Wild Bill, I don't see why not.
That'd be swell. See, I kind of have a mental picture of you.
I have one of you, too. Stocky build, bald, bushy eyebrows, big hands used to outdoor work. And you smoke a pipe. Am I right?
Close. How soon did Lou say he can get in?
No answer at his house.
Keep trying.
Always wondered, how come you left Minneapolis?
Lost my job. My wife and I split up. The kids were grown and left. Nothing to keep me there.
How come your wife left you?
Boss, I'd rather not talk about that.
Just thought you might want to get it off your chest. I mean, here we are. Come a rainy night. It's a good time to really relate.
I don't want to relate. I just want to drink until we can get out of here.
We never print phone numbers.
This is an exception. I said I would authorize it.
I think you're overstepping your authority. That's why I want to get Charlie's judgment on this.
I said that I would take the responsibility.
I don't think you can do that.
Charlie, can we print the number of the Friends of Trees so people can volunteer to sandbag?
No. Look, if printing screws up and prints the wrong number, some poor slob could be deluged with hundreds of phone calls.
And we'll be sued.
But just say, for more information, find your nearest chapter of Friends of Trees in your local directory.
That's what I was going to suggest if she'd have given me the chance.
I think it would be more useful if we made an exception and we printed the phone number. This is an emergency.
You want to take responsibility for checking the proofs? Go ahead.
No problem, Charlie. I am always glad to accept responsibility.
You know, I was reading last night about the survival stuff before I went to sleep. And I started thinking about starving people running through my neighborhood. And me shooting at them from windows. Crazy.
Sure.
You remember that story last year about the woman who was killed in her bedroom by a wall of mud? Just swept right in. Husband was standing 5 feet from her. Couldn't save her. She suffocated.
Next disaster, remind me to bring somebody else. You're a real pain, you know that?
I thought we were beginning to get a little closer. I'm not close to anybody. I know I rub people the wrong way. It's part of my reputation. I'm proud of it. People can think what they want. It doesn't bother me.
Southern California is better prepared for disasters than most places. How's that? We have them all the time. Which is the fire cycle and the flood cycle, earthquakes. Stretches beyond what you're used to. Looks to me like you're pretty well stretched out here. Sure. You got every highway in the county flooded, 12-foot surf on the beaches, and houses sliding into canyons left and right. Can you handle it? Well, we mobilized a lot of heavy equipment from the private vendors. You know, I can't think of one time when there was a death due to a failure by a government agency during a disaster cycle. Now, we'll never admit we're 100% prepared, but we don't cause many deaths either. It's amazing.
This is a decision I made a long time ago. If you're gonna be good. I mean, if the story is what comes first, you're gonna make enemies.
I guess so.
Sure. Hey, I'm not out to win a popularity contest.
You're being too hard on yourself.
A reporter with my kind of drive just isn't likely to make many friends.
If it means anything to you. I don't think you're such a bad guy.
You mean that? Really?
Really?
How come we don't have any of that plastic stuff to put on the hill?
I forgot to bring some home.
Isn't that poor planning?
Mistakes are all right if you learn from them.
Where are you gonna get it?
That guy down the road, the guy with the hot tub, I saw some on his porch. I'll pick it up at first light.
I don't think he's home.
It's okay. I'll just borrow it from him. And Jesse, if anybody comes snooping around here, remember what I told you. Don't let anybody trick you into letting them in.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
How's the water coming down the hill look?
Pretty muddy. We should get that plastic up and get out of here. I found some wooden pegs out there.
Want some breakfast?
You gotta be kidding.
No. You should eat, Lou. You'll need your strength.
The first rule of survival. Be patient and help will come.
You know who that is? Cooper, the guy I interviewed.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? Hey, Rossi.
Did Art Donovan say you could have that?
Glad you're here. You can help us put some of that up on Arch Hill. Then we'll take what's left and help you at your place. Yeah, I think I'm going to need it all. You want to give me a hand?
Sure. Lou, maybe we ought to give him a hand. Come on. Come on.
Much obliged, gentlemen. Any time.
He may be hurt.
We can only hope.
Yeah, I know, but...
He held a gun on us, Rossi. Oh, damn.
Cooper!
I think I dropped out. Are you hurt? Yeah, I said so. Can you move? A little bit. A little. Where are you hurt? My leg. My ribs.
Don't move. You could puncture a lung. We gotta get some help.
Use the CB machine.
Talk fast to help.
My son, up the road, we've got another radio there.
Great.
I'll stay with him.
Where else could Lou be?
Wherever he is, he would have called. He would have known we needed everybody last night. Even if he were stuck, he would have called.
Maybe his phone's out. You should send a copy boy over to his house.
I already did. There's nobody there.
Now I've really got the creeps.
Maybe he's out on a date. You know, overnight somewhere.
He called.
You know, I've really got a bad feeling about this. I think we should call the police.
You.
Oh, hi, Charlie. I was really looking for Lou.
So are we.
Well, here I am, all the way out here in Hawaii and worrying about my house, and I can't get through to him.
What are you talking about?
Well, I talked to him yesterday about 4 o'clock your time. I asked him to go up to my place and throw some plastic on the hill because of the rain. He said he'd do it.
Wow, nobody's heard from Lou since.
That doesn't sound good.
You're looking for Lou. Why don't you ask Rossi?
Second, Donovan, why?
I saw them leave together when I was coming on last night.
Rossi? Anybody seen Rossi?
No.
What?
Maybe Rossi drove Lou up to my place. Look, if you hear something, will you please call me? It's awful being out here and not knowing.
Okay, we will. Have fun. Lou and Rossi marooned in the same house together. Out of that'll either come a 6-part story
or a murder-suicide.
Topanga's one of the areas that was hardest hit. The only way in is by helicopter.
Bud Warner over at Channel 10 is a good friend. They have a news watch copter.
Okay, it's loaded. I believe you.
Better get out of here.
Listen to me. Your father's hurt. He keeps turning over down the road, and he needs a doctor.
You're making that up.
You're a hero, okay? Everybody thinks so. Now put down the gun. Let me go inside and get help.
No.
It's your own father.
I don't believe it. You're trying to trick me.
Okay, fine.
What did he say about Daddy? He's tricked, that's all. What are you doing? Get him back.
I didn't lie to you. Your father's hurt.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Do you know how to use the CB? Well, come on.
I'm lucky. That's all it is. It's your luck. You could have offered me just as much as help. You have a lot of screwed-up ideas, mister. I know something a lot of people don't want to acknowledge. You trust anybody but yourself, you're a damn fool. No. You have to trust. I hear a traffic. Rossi. We'll send a road crew to pick us up.
Channel 10. I hate to be saved by television.
Quite a scorecard. 23 killed, 35 homes destroyed, 751 damaged.
I love this stuff about the survivors.
Yeah, if you ask them why they don't move someplace safer, they say, because I like the view.
This is wonderful. This old couple refused to evacuate because the last time they evacuated their house in Czechoslovakia, they lost it to the Russians.
I'll put their number on your desk. The disaster office. They'll help get you a loan.
Why do I need a loan?
To cover mud seepage in the living room, kitchen, garage, and 4 jars of olives. Also, you better give them your new address.
What are you talking about?
The hill has shifted just the slightest bit. Your house, which used to be at 1,000 Eagle Ridge, has now slipped down to 952, approximately. Have a good time. I'll see you on Monday.
if nobody has a lot invested in Finland, the marker has just fallen against the dollar.
The marker? You're kidding.
Everybody's watching the Dutch guilder. The guilder slips, the Deutschmark gets a little wobbly, and people lose faith in the yen. If that happens, American stocks would take a nosedive. Food prices would go up. You know what that does to the cost of living index? We may start to see some shortages, you know? Meat, gasoline.
Jeff Bridges takes on the Wild West tomorrow in the comic adventure Bad Company.
And now, officers try to stop a rumble between two all-girl gangs on Police Story. Next on A&E.